You can tell I am fucking depressed. Anyway. Hey everybody. Hello everybody. So in this video, I am going to be discussing just particular things that you should do during each sun transit, right? Because we have 12 sun signs, right? And we have about 28 days. Yeah, 28 days within fuck my English. We have 28 days within the sun transiting each sign, right? So right now it's Aries season. I'm shooting this video during Aries season, the beginning of the astrological year, right? And I made a video, introducing the whole Aries season thing, telling you, hey guys, it's Aries season, this is what you should expect, whatever. But every season has its own qualities that we need to be paying attention to, and there are things that we need to be doing during each season, right, that will help us go with the flow of that particular vibe, you know what I'm saying? Because right now it's Aries season, and before that it was Pisces season, right? And what we were doing in Pisces season isn't what we should, or what we were paying attention to in Pisces season isn't what we should be paying attention to now in Aries season. What we need to do though is take those lessons and then apply them, but still change our perspective in a way that suits how the sun is filtering our awareness, right? So as I was saying in my other video, is that during Pisces season, we were paying attention to our dreams and our emotions. So it was a very feminine time for us. Even right now, because it's like Pisces stellium, but it's not what we're paying attention to, aka it's not what the sun is illuminating, because that's, we have Venus and Mars and Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. So it's just more so how we love and appreciate, what motivates us, how we're gaining wisdom and experiences, and just our general dreams and shit, so it's more so like those experiences, but not necessarily what we're paying attention to, right? But as I was saying, is that during Pisces season, when the sun was transiting through Pisces, we were paying attention to our dreams, our illusions, our imagination. We had to pay attention to those things, and the thing is with Pisces is that Pisces is such an internal experience, and it's an internal sign, it's a feminine sign. So all those experiences, like all the sun was illuminating our insides, our internal world, our feminine nature. So now that the sun is in Aries, we need to be paying attention, because Aries is a masculine sign. So we're paying attention to external shit. You know what I'm saying? Our ego, shit like that. So you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be doing that type of thing. Also guys, I just want to mention that this video doesn't only pertain to like what you should do during each season. This is something that you should do like when the sun is transiting through these houses. So for example, Aries is ruled by the first house. When the sun is transiting your first house, do these things. Taurus is ruled by the second house. When the sun is transiting through your second house, do these things. Gemini is ruled by the third house, but when the sun is transiting your third house, do these things. Same thing with the fourth house. Cancer is ruled by the fourth house, but when the sun is transiting through your fourth house, do those things too. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be, you don't have to just follow the order of the sky, because we all have different, like for example, I'm an Aquarius rising. So, and it's Aries season right now, so when it was Aquarius season, that's when I was paying attention to my own individuality, my own, personal goals and shit like that. And then when it was Pisces season, because it's in my second house, that's when I was paying attention to my valuables and my possessions. And now that it's Aries season, I'm paying attention to my third house, my siblings and my environment and all of that shit, So you just modify it in your own way, because you guys have different charts. Some of you are Scorpio rising, some of you are Capricorn rising, some of you are Gemini risings, and when the sun is transiting through Gemini, then it's transiting through your first house, so then you are paying attention, you know what I'm saying? But now it's Aries season, and then I don't know, Yeah, Gemini rising. Gemini risings have Aries in their 11th house. So, you know, you're paying attention to your 11th house. You're paying attention to your associates, whatever. You know, so modify that shit differently. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But anyway, let's get into the video. What you need to be doing during Aries season is paying attention to yourself and your own individuality, right? So Aries is ruled by Mars. It's ruled by the first house, which is, you know, the house of yourself, your personality, your personal interests, your personal affairs, your individuality, your own outlook on the world, and the relationship that you have with yourself. That's the first house. The relationship that you have with your damn self and how you treat yourself, right? And how you motivate yourself, mind you, because then Mars also rules Aries, and Mars is about how we, you know, motivate ourselves, our passion. It's our desires and how we it's like the willpower that we have to get things that we need to survive, on a survival instincts type thing, you know, of the survival of the fittest type shit. Not necessarily like the second house on what can we use in order to sustain ourselves. The first house, aka Mars, is more so like how we can use our strengths, you know, and our ambition and our power and our passion to get what the fuck we need to do. Because at the end of the day, we all need to survive, you know, we all need to eat. And remember the time during the pandemic where all of our lives were being threatened, so we all were in fight mode. So we all like grabbing for tissues and we're like, no, fuck that, you know, we were willing to punch people, because at the end of the day, we're all selfish people and we all have to take care of our own individual needs. And that, my dears, is what the fuck Mars is about, okay? It's about how you do things and how you go get the shit, you know what I'm saying, without compromise, you know, because at the end of the day, it's survival of the fucking fittest. You know, if it really had to come down to it, like if we really had to really come down to it, like, you know, everybody would be feeling for themselves or their own families, but really for themselves, you know. So that's Mars. It's your passion, your motivation, your survival instincts and how you protect yourself, but also your desires and your willpower and your motivation and how you motivate your actions, aka how you motivate your sun, right? So Aries is exalted in the sun. So when it's Aries season, the sun is like, fuck yes. Yeah, we get to be passionate about our self-expression, right? We get to be super motivated to act on the things that we are individually interested in, which is why a lot of Aries sun signs, you know, they don't look to other people to do things unless they have like Aries in the 7th house or Libra rising, Libra moon, Libra Mars, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It always modifies differently, but for the most part, you know, Aries sun signs, they're gonna do what the fuck they're gonna do regardless of if they have a crowd with them, you know. Obviously we all want support and shit like that, but you know, Aries are one of those people that they still gonna do it without the support, you know, because they, once again, they have to support themselves, because they have to validate themselves. So during Aries season, that's exactly what the fuck we need to be doing, validating ourselves. We need to be motivating ourselves. This is a time where, because we're naturally, like, you know, when the sun transits through each zodiac sign, you know, it's like and also depending on the house that you have the zodiac sign in, that's the area of life that will be illuminated, and that's the area of life that you will be paying attention to. Like, for example, I have Aries in my 3rd house right now, so the sun is transiting my 3rd house right now, so I'm paying attention to my individuality within my siblings and within my environment, and, you know, carrying myself, you know what I'm saying, like being there for myself in the times where my environment is against me. Because whenever there's Mars energy, there's always going to be some resistance, because there's no harmony, because the opposite of that is Venus. And you know, with Venus, then you'll get people there supporting you or whatever, but when there's Mars, you have to support yourself. You have to be there for yourself, you know. So that's what I'm paying attention to in my environment, though. But you know, somebody else could have, you know, Aries transiting through their 4th house, and they're realizing, or they're paying attention to their family, and they're paying attention to how they have to be an individual in their family settings, you know, because their family members may be against them, so they have to, you know, be there for themselves. So as I'm saying is that when Aries is in, when the sun is in Aries, that's exactly what we need to be, that's exactly what we're going to be paying attention to. Also, we're going to be paying attention to our passion. So you need to be paying attention to anything that you are passionate about. You need to be on yourself for doing that thing. Okay, because during Pisces, when it was Pisces season, aka the last season, that's when we were like a lot more lazy, procrastinating, whatever. We have to drop that shit during Aries season. Okay, during Aries season, we have to be motivated. We need to be motivated. We need to be on top of things. Whenever you get the idea to do something, do that shit. Don't wait until tomorrow, because if you do that, you are out of alignment with the Aries season. Okay, so what you need to be doing during every season, right, is being on your passions, doing things that you're passionate about, you know, adding on to your passions, you know, your motivations, motivating yourself. Because the season before was, you know, Pisces, dreams, imaginations, illusions. During Aries season, you need to be fighting for your dreams and making your dreams happen somehow, some way, in shape and form, you know, seeing your visions through and like doing your visions. Even if you don't really know how to do it, you just need to have the faith, aka, you know, the lessons that you learn during Pisces season. Have the faith to know that you just taking the first step is going to lead you to where the fuck you want to be going. Even though it may not be in the exact way that you think it's going to happen, because you know the universe likes to play mind games for days, you know, but just know that with the steps that you're taking, the universe is eventually going to lead you to where you need to be at, or where it feels like you should be at, really. You know what I'm saying? So during Aries season, remember, you need to stay passionate about something. Do the things that you're passionate about. Motivate yourself. Fight for yourself. Because whichever house you can have Aries in is probably the house that you're going to fight a lot. You know, as I said, I have it in my 3rd house, so I be fighting. I be arguing with my brother. I only have one brother, so I be arguing with my brother. I don't really have friends in this neighborhood, so there's no one to argue with. But I'm really ready to argue. Shit, if somebody tries me, I'm ready. I'm ready. You know, during Aries season, you need to fight for yourself. As I said, you need to learn how to fiend and fucking fight for yourself. You need to protect yourself. And you need to realize during Aries season is the time that you realize that you are really responsible for yourself in all areas of life. No matter what you do, you are responsible for yourself. If you want to be happy, you need to make your own happiness happen. Okay? If you're hungry, you need to make food for your fucking self. Okay? If your heart is broken, you need to heal that shit yourself. Depending on people to do that for you, it's canceled during Aries season. You cannot rely on anybody. Really, you can't rely on anybody for anything. During Aries season, you are on your own, and you need to remember that you are on your own. And I know for Libras, that is scary. For Cancers, that is scary. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Geminis, that's fucking scary. Because it's like, damn, really? All alone? Because I know these signs are like very dependent on people or just situations and things to help them support themselves. But during Aries season, that's the season we learn that, yo, I am really responsible for everything. If I want to feel like a bad bitch, I need to validate myself to make myself feel like a bad bitch and not rely on anybody to do that. Because once you start relying, my nigga, you are out of alignment during the Aries season. So I'm gonna need you to hop right back on that motherfucking alignment and motivate yourself, validate yourself, right? Because this is when the sun is transiting Aries. You're going to be paying attention to yourself and your own individuality and your own ways of doing things and your own views, you know. And you need to be willing, as I said, to fight for that, because there will be obstacles during Aries season to test that shit, to test how strong you are, you know. And if you are going to, you know, be like, oh my God, no, I don't want to do that, then you're like going to be washed up under the fucking current, bro. So you learn from my Aries, you know. Also, I need to mention that during Aries season, during each season, if you are that sign, anything you do is going to be fine. Like, the universe is going to be like, oh, okay, that's great, you're in alignment. So all the Aries during the Aries season, all the Aries shit that you do that during other seasons, we'd be like, what the fuck, Aries, what are you doing? During Aries season, you are leading by example. So yay. During Aries season, Aries are like, yes, can be as crazy as I want to be. And then, you know, the whole world can't really, you know, say nothing, because you get a pass. All Aries placements get a pass to be those selfish, self-absorbed, super stubborn, super hard-headed, argumentative, then get over it, be super confusing to everybody. You get a pass to do that, you know. Also get a pass to be like super energetic, you know. But you know, it would be different, because if it was like Capricorn season, then we'd be like, oh my God, okay, wow, you're so energetic, but what are you doing that? Like, what are you doing to What are you doing with that passion to stabilize your life? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, during Aries season, Aries placements, y'all are so free to do whatever the fuck they want. But the rest of us who don't have Aries placements, we need to learn from Aries how to be individuals and express ourselves individualistically. Also during Aries season, because Aries is exalted in the sun, and the sun is our vitality, we get to pay attention to our own personal energy, and then also pay attention to our body language. Because one thing that many of us don't really understand sometimes is that, like, apart from communication, like talking, aka air, there's another whole language, aka your body language. So we get to realize like how also we interact with ourselves, and just, you know, how our body reacts to specific emotions that we go through, and then just realize like how to maybe control that, or how to nurture that, because once again, you have to nurture your own shit, you know, during Aries season. So also superhero time during Aries season, we pay attention to energies of others too, you know, because as I say, fire signs and water signs are the same, because they see things like they see the things that air signs and earth signs don't see, right? Only water signs see the undercurrents of things, so they pay attention to the emotions behind what someone is doing, what someone is saying. But fire signs, they pay attention to the energy of things, aka your body language, you know, the expression of how you say things, and then that's how they pick up the state of being you're in. So during Aries season, we're going to be doing that shit too, okay? Then that's how you're going to be able to figure out if someone is fake and phony, if you're being fake and phony right now, you know. So during Aries season, you have to be honest with yourself, as I say, not lying to yourself, because we could lie to ourselves all day, every day during Pisces season, but not Aries season. Aries season, we have to be fucking true to ourselves. We have to be honest with ourselves, because if you're not honest with yourself, how the hell you gonna be honest with anybody else? And if you don't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen, RuPaul Charles? Period. Yeah, so moving on to Taurus season, right? When it's Taurus season, you guys, we need to be paying attention to our stability, right? Because it's ruled by Venus. Okay, Taurus is ruled by the second house, which is the house of possessions and values, you know, things that we possess and the things that we value and things that we have, right? Because the motto of the second house is I have. And then it's ruled by Venus, right? And Earth is, you know, sensuality and growing things very fucking slowly, like just slow movement. Jeez. Earth rules slow movement and growth and, you know, nurture, like physical nurture, you know. And then Venus is love and appreciation and your love language and your sensuality and pleasure. But because it's Taurus, yeah, it's pleasures of the body and pleasures of your senses, you know what I'm saying? So during Taurus season, that's what we need to be paying attention to. Paying attention to your senses, paying attention to the things that you love and appreciate, but on a physical, tangible, practical level, you know. During Taurus season is the time that we need to be slowing it down, because during Aries season, things are going to be happening fast, or we're going to be wanting things to happen fast, especially, you know, when it's a new moon, when it was a new moon in Aries. Oh, I felt that energy, and it was during that day I realized, like, yo, we need to chill out with Aries. Like, we really need to give some Aries like sympathy, because wow, Mars is hectic, and I thought Mercury was hectic. Mars is really hectic too. But anyway, we're not talking about Mars right now. But as I was saying, is that during Aries season we were super fast and impatient, but during Taurus season we need to slow it down, right? We need to pay attention to how we can utilize our passion to sustain that shit, you know what I'm saying? During Taurus season we need to pay attention to how to savor everything, you know, and really get in tune with our senses, our sensual senses, aka touch and taste and smelling and hearing and seeing things, you know. This during Taurus season we need to be paying attention to just the practical things of our everyday life, of our mundane life, you know. Because as I say, during Aries season, you know, we wanted things to come fast, and we wanted things to come now, and we would want things to come just as fast and as passionate as we feel them in the moment. But during Taurus season, then we need to learn how to think long term, think longevity, how to stabilize those passions. It's like, okay, I'm passionate, for example, let's say I'm passionate about cooking, right? And during Aries season I want to be a chef now, I want someone to hire me now, or I want to start my own business now and then have it flourish tomorrow, you know. But during Taurus season we need to be more practical you know, realize, okay, I have this particular passion, and how can I savor that passion so that it lasts for a long time, you know. So how do I plan out and organize on a daily basis what to do in order to prolong this passion, in order to, you know, extend my love and appreciation for this passion. You know, during Taurus season is the season that we need to be paying attention to what we want to commit ourselves to long term. Because during Aries season, we don't really think about things long term, you know. But Taurus season, that's the season. This is the season where we need to be thinking about things on a long term basis, you know. Thinking about, okay, I have this interest. Do I want to have this interest for a long time? No? Okay, then it's a waste of my time. Great. Yes? Great. Now I can nurture it. I can take my time with it rather than rushing the process, you know. During Taurus season, we need to pay attention to, we need to pay attention to what it is that we want to be loyal to, what it is that we want to dedicate ourselves to, what it is that we want to love and appreciate long term, you know, because during Taurus season, we're not about flings. We want to savor that shit, you know. We want to enjoy that with our senses for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So during Taurus season, we need to be paying attention to even the things that we love and appreciate, as I said, as on a physical, practical level. So that could be with people. During Taurus season is a great time to pay attention to, you know, how to self-care. You know what I'm saying? Because just before Taurus is Aries, which is the house of self. So, you know what I'm saying? Taurus season reminds us to care for ourselves, because we are a tangible thing with our human skin and hair and shit. So self-care all day. Taurus season is so good for self-care and just pampering yourself and cooking really good meals and, you know, having cute dates by yourself or with your loved ones. Like, for example, me, I love pizza and I love pasta, you know, and I love making them. So during Taurus season, you get to do all that shit, you know, and also like drinking wine when I do that, because it just makes me feel like I'm so rich. Oh my god. So during Taurus season, we literally need to pay attention to all that self-care shit, just taking it easy, taking it slow, and remembering that, like, as fast as life is, we need to savor all those moments, baby. Really drink up the moment with your eyes, with your taste buds, with your smiles, with your hearing, and with your touch. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Just like feel that through, like, and really, just this is the time during Taurus season is the time that we're tested to really see what it is that we really want to dedicate ourselves to. Because during Taurus season, we realize what it is that we want to give our time and energy to. Otherwise, it's going to be a waste of time and energy. You know, so during Taurus season, we need to be paying attention to that. What matters most, what it is that we want to love and appreciate for, what it is that we want to love and appreciate, and how to simplify our lives. Because really, Taurus energy is like about simplicity, and how to keep it short, sweet, and easy to manage, you know, so not complicate things. So during Taurus season, we really, you know, get to delete and really erase things that are unnecessary. You know, we delete what are we not going to give attention to? What are we not going to pay? What are we not going to do long term? And then we just focus our energy and nurturing on the things that we want to nurture and have in our lives long term. You know, whether it be friends, a career, a job, you know, the way you do your hair, routines, skincare routines. You just pay attention to that, you know, and you realize, like, oh, okay, no, the way I fold my clothes and take more time to do this, I don't have to do this anymore. I'll just do it this way. And then you realize, okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. You know, even with, like, for example, with like a job or something, you know, you may realize, like, okay, no, this job that I'm doing is not something that I want to do forever, so let me just delete this job, beep, and let me focus my whole entire attention on, for example, making YouTube videos, because I really want to do this and I really want to nurture this for the rest of my life. See, that's what you need to be paying attention to during Taurus season. What it is that you want to love and appreciate long term, you know. That's it. That's the. So during Gemini season, Gemini is ruled by the third house, and the third house represents, you know, your siblings, your friends, your environment, and the things, the information that you accumulate from your environment. You know, what you learn from being around these people and these spaces. And it's also ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules communication, information, you know, processing information, dissecting, analyzing, you know, our nervous system, our eyes, our hands, sign language. It's so crazy how that is, right? Mercury really does rule the hands, because that's how you can speak and be like, whatever. But yeah, that's what Mercury rules, right? So during Gemini season, we need to be paying attention to our communication, our friends, our environment, and realizing who are the people in our lives that we want to share spaces with. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing about Gemini can be friends with everybody, but I think at the low vibe, when Geminis get too scattered, it's because they've put themselves in too many environments, you know, and they've studied too many people, and then they just like don't know where to like settle themselves, you know. But at the higher vibe of Gemini's, you know, during Gemini season, we just get to pay attention to the environments that we do want to be in, you know, because not every environment is a great environment, and we don't always, I mean, of course, on one end, you know what's crazy? It's just as we started Gemini season, I got fucking scattered, and now I'm gonna talk a lot. But yeah, anyway, that's really what it is. But during Gemini season, we just get to pay attention to our environments. That's what we need to be paying attention to. Our environments, our friends, and our siblings, and how we relate to these people, you know, because it's during Gemini season that we need to pay attention to the information that we're learning and the information that we're consuming, because everything that you consume, you're gonna eventually during Gemini season, that's gonna be replaying in your head, aka overthinking or thinking about it too much. And if you're gonna be exposing yourself to too many environments, then that's when you can like give yourself mental exhaustion. And trust me, I'm a Gemini moon, bitch. I know this shit, okay? So during Gemini season, what we need to be doing is just remembering be cognizant of the environment and the spaces that we're in, right? And also paying attention to our friends, and paying attention to what our friends are feeding us and what we're learning from our friends, but also what we're teaching our friends too, you know. It's during Gemini season that we get to be most social and like network a lot, you know, especially if you have like Gemini in your fire or air house, you know, not so much if it's like in your water houses, because then you get to do that with the people that you share like an emotional connection with, which is super dope. And if it's in your earth house, if you have Gemini in your earth houses, then you just get to relate how you share resources with people, which is also dope. But generally, when Gemini season comes, we need to be paying attention to how we relate to people, right? And how we relate to people and how people relate to us, and then figure out if we like that relatability, because you don't always have to be a chameleon for everybody, you know, unless obviously it's like needed. Then during Gemini season, that's the season we learn how to camouflage and how to adapt, because that's what it is. Gemini season is going to teach us how to adapt, and that's what we're going to be aware of, how we adapt to specific spaces and environment, and how we consume that particular energy, and how we learn from those people, and how those people learn from us too, you know. During Gemini season, we need to learn how to be sociable, you know, because this is, once again, like the fire, when the sun transits through fire and air signs, that we have a past to be a lot more, you know, sociable, and a lot more out there, and a lot more free, and not so, you know, worried and concerned about our emotions and shit, where we do during water seasons and during earth seasons, you know. During Gemini, well, air and fire seasons, we just get to be like goofy and outgoing. So the same thing with Gemini season, we need to pay attention to, you know, what we can do in the external world, and what we can learn in the external world, and how to apply that in our everyday lives, you know, and how to help ourselves figure shit out, you know. Because the season before that was Taurus, and during Taurus season we had to, you know, be fixated and figure out what the fuck that we're gonna do with our lives on a daily routines, and, you know, forever. But during Gemini season, we get to pay attention to how to add like variety in our lives, and how to see new things, you know, how to like expose ourselves to new environments. Yes, I know I said like to be cognizant about the environments that you're in, you know, but I still stick with that, because you don't have to be around, like, if you know like a group of people, I don't know, for example, doing crystal meth or something, you don't have to be in those environments, you know. But if, for example, going to another area, like going to another country or something, exposing yourself to a different area outside of your own environment, you know, that's what I'm basically trying to tell you. So during Gemini season, it's really dope. We need to be paying attention to just adding variety in our lives, you know, and getting out of our ruts, aka Taurus season, where we were in our ruts and we had to create a comfort zone. So during Gemini season, we're expanding that. We're expanding our palettes, you know, and we're trying to explore new things and learn about new things, new environments, new spaces, new places, and just adding more color and fun into our lives. Like during Gemini season, if you're not having fun during Gemini season, you are not in alignment with the world, okay? If you're at home depressed as fuck, okay, you need to understand. Even if you're depressed as fuck, like if you're not like at least having fun a little bit, just a little bit, then you're out of alignment, you know. But Gemini season, it's gonna give us a lot of like opportunities to just be in different spaces and learn about different things, you know. Also, I think if you're in school, then this is different, because I remember being in school and you really can't, you know, because you have a very set routine. But I mean, there's weekends and you can still do fun things on weekends, you know. But if you are in school, then this is during Gemini season is a great time for you to, like, you know, really process information really easily and study easily, because you'll enjoy learning, you know, because Gemini season is all about learning and what we can learn and how we can just gain more information about the world. You know, so that's what we need to be paying attention to during Gemini season. You know, is the information that we're consuming and the information that we are exuding and the spaces that we choose to be in, and, you know, just having fun and just being lighthearted, you know, and also considering both sides to every situation. That's what we need to be paying attention to during Gemini season. You know, seeing your own side, but then seeing the side of somebody else and seeing how they came with that perspective, and having a light heart, because you know what? We don't always have to be right as people. You know, we were always right during Taurus season, whatever. But during Gemini season, we don't always have to be right. We can just go with the flow, go where the wind takes us. And, you know, just like see what the vibes are, you know. And even if the vibes are whack, we can just leave with a light heart and do whatever the fuck that we want to. So yeah, that's what you need to be paying attention to this season. So during Cancer season, Cancer is ruled by the 4th house, right? 4th house, which represents your home, your family, your comfort zone, your comfort level, how you nurture yourself and the people that you are close to, your roots, your family, your childhood. And then it's also ruled by the moon. The moon is our emotions, our inner world, you know, how we nurture ourselves and the general energy that we feel home in. You know, the moon represents how we react, which is also linked to our inner world, you know, also linked to emotions. And it also rules what else does the moon rule? Yeah, your comfort zone. But that's literally like the moon, like more than anything, the moon and like the 4th house have so many things in common. They're basically the same thing. It's basically the same thing. But anyway, during Cancer season, this is a season that we need to be paying attention to our emotions, to our feelings, and our own emotional well-being. Okay, let me tie my hair up like this. So during during Cancer season, this is the season that we need to be paying attention to our emotions, right, and our reactions, and being a lot more selfish with what makes us comfortable, you know, because during Gemini season we were paying attention to, you know, just being carefree and being open to so many other people's perspectives. During Cancer season, we're canceling that shit out. We have to be paying attention to our own emotional comforts and what makes us comfortable, you know, and what makes us feel safe, what makes us feel like we're at home, you know what I'm saying? Because during Gemini season we weren't really paying attention to that. We weren't really paying attention to our emotions at all, because we were just paying attention to the information of the world and what we can analyze and what we can think about, you know. So during Cancer season, we need to be paying attention to what's familiar to us and what makes us feel comfortable, you know, what makes us feel like we're in a safe space. So that can include, you know, the people that we feel comfortable with. You know, we're going to be paying attention to that. The people that we feel comfortable with. We're going to be paying attention to things that we feel comfortable with, paying attention to things that remind us of home, remind us of comfort, and anything that doesn't do that, we're going to be feeling very uncomfortable, you know, with partaking in it, or like giving our energy to it. You know what I'm saying? So also during Cancer season, we need to be paying attention to our family members and our childhood. Yes, I said it. Pay attention to your childhood, you know, because this is during all water seasons. This is a time for us to really, you know, cater to our emotions. And during water seasons is a time that we're going to be forced to pay attention to our feelings. All those emotions that we love to suppress, especially all of us air moons, fire moons, earth moons, you know, all those emotions that we suppress because, you know, we don't want to deal with them. Oh yeah, Cancer season is going to make you deal with them, bitch. It's going to force you to deal with them, and we need to be paying attention to those emotions, right? Especially because emotions, or most of the triggers that we have, stem from childhood. So during Cancer season, that's the season we need to be paying attention to our triggers, why we get triggered, you know, and why, and particularly our parents. Pay attention to the relationship dynamic that you had with your parents, your family members, the two main people that you were first intimate with, you know, aka your mom and your dad, or your mom and your mom, your dad and your dad. I don't know how your family dynamic was, but you need to be paying attention to that and how your upbringing was. Pay attention to how your upbringing was, and then pay attention to how it's affecting you now in your grown adult life, or whatever, teenage life, 20 something life. Pay attention to how it's affecting you emotionally now, and then heal. Oh, water seasons is a time for us to heal our emotions. So good. Time for us to heal our emotions and really look inward and figure out like how to nurture ourselves, you know, because a lot of the times we don't really pay attention to that shit. So during those 28 days, let me put it here so it's balanced. But during those 28 days of Cancer season, each day needs to count. So each day we need to figure out why the fuck things trigger us, why they started to trigger us, what they remind us of. You know, that one time your dad yelled at you for dropping a spoon, you know, and now you're too afraid to make a mistake. Figure that shit out, you know. Or that one time your mom, I don't know, didn't give you a hug when you really needed a hug, and now you have emotional intimacy. You know, you figure that shit out. It's Cancer season, you figure that shit out, okay? You realize, okay, which parent caused which trauma. You figure out which parent traumatized you the most and how they traumatized you, which parent, you know, taught you this, you know. Or for example, it doesn't have to be bad all the time. You could figure out, okay, which parent made you have a love for the arts, you know. So you figure out, oh yeah, when I was young, my mom used to take me to art galleries, and now I love art galleries because they remind me of a time where I was young and I felt so safe, and you know what I'm saying, that type of shit. Or oh, I love riding bikes because me and my dad used to ride bikes every Sunday, and he made me love nature. You see, you figure that shit out. You figure that shit out during Cancer season. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, mate. And then yeah, we'll just move. Is that it? But yeah, generally just during Cancer season, you need to figure out, you know, your emotion. Just nurture your emotions. Figure out your emotions. Be in tune with your emotions. If you are a Capricorn or Aquarius or what, like a Libra or Gemini person, and you struggle with you know, handling your emotions and being vulnerable with yourself during Cancer season, this is a perfect time to figure out why, and then figure out how you can do that. Figure out how you can be figure out how you can be emotional. Figure out how to let your emotions flow without putting boundaries and restrictions on them, you know. Yeah, figuring out how you can help yourself just really just melt. Let your emotions melt. During Cancer season, you have to let your emotions melt, otherwise they're gonna beat you up. Cancer season is gonna be the worst season for you if you don't allow your emotions to flow. excuse me, you know. And even sometimes things will resurface during Cancer season, but you know what the fuck, you need to let that shit happen. We're gonna move on to Leo season. So during Leo season, this is a season where we need to, you know, since Cancer season we're all emotional, Leo season is like literally my favorite season, because this is the season where we need to level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. This is the season where you really realize that you are a bad bitch, and that you don't need anybody to emotionally validate you either, and that you have to in your own heart feel that you are a bad bitch, and that you in your own heart, in your own soul, need to feel that you are a queen and that you deserve more, and not the shit that you settle for. During Leo season, this is not the time where we settle for things just to make other people feel comfortable. No. Leo season, we are putting ourselves first. We're putting our own happiness a priority. We're putting our own self-righteousness as a priority, right? And we're loving ourselves. Damn, like we're complimenting ourselves. We're praising ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We're affirmating ourselves, and we're just really appreciating our own existence, because wow, it is a miracle. It is a God-given miracle that each of us are here with all of our glory, sharing glory with the universe and the cosmos and the skies and the bugs and shit. Like, damn, they must be so lucky to have us all on this earth. So we need to act like that shit during Leo season. Okay, it's all about having fun. Yes, Leo season, we're having fun. We're celebrating ourselves, because every day during Leo season, those 28 days, 29 days, it's a self-celebration. We're celebrating ourselves, we're celebrating our existence, because during Cancer season we were depressed as fuck, realizing how our childhood traumas have really fucked us up as, you know, adults, and whichever age we are at now. But during Leo season, we celebrate the dope things about us. We celebrate that, oh my god, my hair is so beautiful, oh wow, amazing. During Leo season, we're celebrating, oh my god, I'm such an amazing chef. During Leo season, we're celebrating, oh my god, I love my body, I love my small titties, I love my big titties, I love my my fat thighs, I love my thin thighs. You know, you be celebrating, I love my big nose, I love my thin nose, my fat lips, my thin lips, my cheeks that reach the gods because they're so high, or my cheeks that are so low. You know, we're celebrating every part of ourselves because we deserve that celebration. You know, during Leo season, we're having fun too. We're enjoying ourselves, even if we're having short little flings with people that we have no intention cuffing for long term. We're doing that shit. You know why? Because during Leo season, we realize that we deserve to have fun. Because during Cancer season, we were depressed as fuck. Or we were maybe not depressed, but we had to just really pay attention to our emotions and our emotional well-being, and so much of what the fuck is going on internally. Oh my god, and that can be a lot of work. Maybe that's just me saying that just because I have so much air in me, but I'm sure other water signs are like, this is nothing, you know what I'm saying? But either way, during Cancer season, we're paying attention to all those emotions, whatever. During Leo season, we are shaking that shit away. We're shaking it away, and we're realizing what it is, or like what an honor it is for us to be alive. Like how privileged the rest of humanity is for each of us to be alive. During Leo season, that's the fucking energy. And if you're not in that energy, sorry babes, but you are being washed under the current. During Leo season, we are validating ourselves. If anybody tells us that we ain't shit, we got to be like, whoa, wait a minute, wait. Are you talking to me? Me? Are you stupid? How dare you say that shit? And then even after, you have to validate yourself, you know, affirm yourself. You need to be like, I am beautiful, I am fucking amazing, I am a bad bitch, I'm a bad dude, I am so fly. You know what I'm saying? You need to validate yourself. Praise yourself, because you are your own queen, you are your own king. You know, and also during Leo season, this is the time where all of us need to be, you know, doing some kind of creative, having a creative outlet, you know, whether that's singing. So remember those things that we used to do when we were children? We used to paint, like having arts and crafts. If you're not doing shit like that during Aries season, even if it's like, I mean, during Leo, I keep saying Aries, during Leo season, if you're not doing anything artistic, if you're not expressing yourself in some way, even if it's just fashion or making music, making a film, a short film, making videos, if you're not doing anything creative, if you're not like exuding your creative energy, your childlike energy, sweetie, you are out of alignment during Leo season. And I'm gonna need for you to jump back on that motherfucking train and do something creative. Find something creative, you know? Even if it's like, maybe not athletics. I mean, it could be, I think Leo, like, Leo has a lot of energy, you know? So you could be doing something athletic, but just as long as you're exuding your energy out. Even if it's sex too, because that's form of creation, you know, we're creating things when you have sex. Maybe don't, because we don't need any more babies in the world, in my opinion. Just in my opinion. But yeah, Leo season, I'm gonna need for all of us to be super creative. You need to be paying attention, because Leo season, you need to be paying attention to that, your own creativity, your own self-expression. Pay attention to how you express yourself during Leo season, and the things that you do and use to express yourself and help you express yourself and help you express the visions that you have of the world, you know. So even if it's like through singing or dancing, because I know Leos can be the most amazing dancers. Actually, yeah, I will say basketball, because I know a few Leos that like, I mean not basketball, sports, because I knew a nigga who like is a Leo sun and he's super into like basketball, but he can't paint, sing, or do nothing. But that's his self-expression, you know. He expresses himself when he's doing fitness, or playing basketball or whatever, just whatever. During Leo season, if you're not being active, if you're not doing something, even if it's partying, oh my god, because we all express ourselves, you know, in different ways. So for you, it could be partying, grooving, you know, you like drinking alcohol and there's an audience around you, but that's you. But at least you're doing something, you're exuding that motherfucking Leo energy. So during Leo season, we need to be exuding our passion, you know. So find something that you're passionate about, you know. Find something that makes you feel happy to be alive during Leo season, because it's not like Aries season when you're doing things that you feel passionate about, because it gives you that, you know, warrior. During Leo season, we're doing things that we're passionate about because it makes us feel good. It makes us feel like we are the fucking queens that we are in our heads. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing our visions through, and we are staying stubborn to our creative matters, because we know that our creative matters are an extension of ourselves. AKA, you know, when you make art, it's basically an extension of who you are. So you're giving, you know, you're being stable and being consistent with your self-expression. So for those 28 days during Leo season, you need to be dedicated to your self-expression. You know, you're dedicated to how you just express yourself, you know. Because during Cancer season, we may have kept all those emotions inside. So during Leo season, we need to take that shit all the way out and express ourselves, express who we are, and be unapologetic about it. You know why? Because queens are not apologetic about just being queens. Kings don't apologize for being a king, you know, and what they do. So neither should we during Leo season. Leo season, we are expressing ourselves and we don't feel sorry for it one bit. When something makes us feel upset, we're going to address it in the moment, right? And we're not going to feel sorry for it or feel like we've disrupted the peace, because if our peace is not tended to, then how can we shine our positive light in the world? You know, you're just gonna be all sad and angry and depressed and shit, and you have to go back, aka do Cancer shit. But we can't do Cancer shit during Leo season, because it's a new season and we need to be paying attention to new things and acting in new ways, Leo ways, you know. So yeah, that's the vibe. During Leo season, we're doing fun things. You know, we're enjoying ourselves, we're being creative, we're being childlike, we're remembering all the fun memories of our childhood, and we're doing those things. Whereas during Cancer season, we're remembering all the triggers and sometimes the not so fun things. And even if we do remember the fun things, you know, we just cling on to them so hard. So during Leo season, we're remembering all the fun things that we used to do as a child, and we're connecting to that fun inner child that like was goofy and funny, you know. and we're letting her come alive, you know, and we're doing great. Like, for example, if that inner child used to love painting, but her painting was so shit, during Leo season, we're doing a better job, because we need to honor that inner child, because that inner child still needs love. That inner child that used to love watching Lion King, we're watching that shit during Leo season. That inner child that used to love playing ukulele, we're doing that Leo season. That inner child that used to love going outside and wearing fun outfits, we're doing that during Leo season. You know, we're enjoying our youth, our inner youth. We're enjoying just like our own fun and enjoyment. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're going to be a little bit narcissistic, but we need to be paying attention to just how we have fun and how we express ourselves during Leo season, bitch. That's it. That's all. So moving on to Virgo season, what we need to be doing during Virgo season. So Virgo is ruled by the 6th house, right? It's ruled by the 6th house, which is our daily routine, how we maintain our lives in a stable way, by attending to the everyday mundane tasks and responsibilities. You know, it rules our everyday responsibilities, aka you have to brush your teeth every day, I clean my room every day. I'm a Virgo, you know, but I don't know, whatever. You do homework every day because it's a daily responsibility. If you work, you have to work every day because you have to maintain that shit, because that's the thing that stabilizes your life long term. You know, that's the 6th house. And then it's Mercury also, right? So it's just thinking and communicating and, you know, organizing and shit. So Virgos like to think and analyze about their daily routines and their health, and because that's the 6th house also, your health and your routines and your schedule and your body and the relationship that you have with your body and maintaining your body and yeah, how you just maintain with your everyday routines and your schedules and shit like that. You know, if you're not doing that during Virgo season, you're out of alignment. You know, but during Virgo seasons, we need to be paying attention to our body, full stop. Paying attention to exercising, full stop. If you are not paying attention to the things that you've put in your body, because listen, the things that we do on a daily basis, because this is what we're going to be paying attention to during Virgo season. We're going to be realizing that everything that we do on a daily basis affects our health in some way, shape, or form. Right? It affects, like, if, for example, if you smoke every day, it's gonna affect your health in some way. If you're a vegan, right, and you only eat vegetables every day, you know, fruits every day, that's gonna affect your health in some way. If you eat meat every day, that's gonna affect your health in some way. If you exercise regularly or on a routine, that's gonna affect your body, right? Your sleeping schedules, because that's also a routine, that's gonna affect your body. If you watch TV every day, if you're on your phone every day, guess what? It's gonna affect your body. So during Virgo season, we need to be paying attention to the things that affect our body in a good and a bad way, and differentiate, aka discriminating what it is that we want to add into our daily routines and what it is that we need to take away from our daily routines that affect our bodies and our minds in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? During Virgo season, we need to be paying attention to how we organize the minor things in our lives. You know, like the small things in our lives. Like, for example, like a cup of water every morning, that affects your body somehow. And it's a very small thing, like it's a very small detail in your day, but it's gonna help you so much, because during Virgo season, we're gonna be paying attention to how those small little things in our lives literally affect the bigger picture. Okay? The little steps you take during Virgo season, we're gonna be paying attention to that. Paying attention to, the little steps that we take every day in our lives literally take us to the bigger picture of where we see ourselves. Okay, during Leo season, we had the vision of who we are. So during Virgo season, we need to be paying attention to the steps and the routines and the schedules that we create for ourselves, and how we can get ourselves to a position that we actually want to be in terms of stability, in terms of, for example, if you want to be a DJ, you need to practice doing that shit every day for you to have the title of being the best DJ ever in the fucking world. Like, how do you think Beyonce became Beyonce? Because every day she did things that contributed to that, the bigger picture. You know? Practice makes perfect, and practice is P, and we need to be pushing P. And during Virgo season, we're realizing how every day we need to be pushing P in small little ways, bro. in small little ways, you know, but also our health, because if you're not healthy, like, you can't do shit, bro. So during Virgo season, you're going to be realizing that your health is actually so important. Like, never mind that you have goals and ambitions and you have dreams and whatever. Is your body functioning? Does your, like, do your eyes work properly? You know what I'm saying? Like, does your liver work properly to function? Because if your liver fucking sucks and then you have diarrhea and you have to poop every fucking day, then that's literally gonna stop a whole bunch of things in your life. Like, if you don't nurture during Virgo season, we're gonna realize, we need to realize that, like, we need to nurture our bodies, because this is literally the system, the machine that makes things happen. Just like your hands. Your hands, Virgo rules the hands. This is also Mercury, right? And just think about how much you use your hands on a daily basis. These babies help us so fucking much. I need everybody to thank their hands. Like, every day, thank your hands for doing things for you. You know, your hands are basically Virgos. They help you do the minor things in your life. Also the major things, but the minor things. Like, they help tie your shoes, you wash your body, you cook food, you wash your face, you nurture, you pick up your baby, you nurture them, you know, you nurture yourself, you feel, I don't know, it helps you masturbate too. You know what I'm saying? Your hands help you so fucking much, you know? So during Virgo season, we're going to be realizing how we can help ourselves in small minor ways, you know? But before we help ourselves and before we get to the position that we want to be at, we need to realize during Virgo season that the details of our lives really fucking matter. And that's going to be difficult for Pisces, Sagittarius, and Aquarius, and Aries, because they don't really give a fuck about the details of their lives, and they necessarily don't really give a fuck about their health either, you know? But during this season, you're going to have to give, even Geminis, but during Virgo season, you're going to have to realize that giving a fuck about your health is the reason why you can do things, you know? Your body is like your best friend. And during Virgo season, we need to realize this shit, you know? Fucking eat a salad here and then. Give your body some love. Like, drink water, you know? Eat your vitamins. Like, get your vitamins every morning. Get some fucking exercise, you know? You're going to be paying attention to these things, and we need to be paying attention to these things during Virgo season, you know? Because what would the world be without the Virgo energy? Fucking chaotic. The 6th house, oh my god, thank you for the 6th house, universe. Because that motherfucker literally keeps the whole fucking show running. Like, the Virgo energy, 6th house energy is like the mechanics in the machine that make everything work. And during Virgo season, we need to be paying attention to what works in our lives and what doesn't work anymore. What is affecting your everyday routines, you know? What isn't getting you to your goal, and what are you doing in your life that is preventing you from, you know, getting to the money? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are the routines that you're doing in your life that are preventing you from getting to the money? So I'll make an example. For example, when I was smoking way too much weed, I used to be super lazy, and I was like super groggy, and I didn't really want to do anything but sleep and eat, and that affected my health, you know, because now I'm like training my body in every day in small little ways to just be procrastinating, you know. So I had to cancel that shit, cancel smoking, so I can, you know, help myself in that way. So during Virgo season, we're going to be paying attention to those kind of things. And all of us need to be paying attention to those kind of things too. How we can help ourselves and what we need to eliminate and add on into our lives to help the small details of our lives that help us get to the bigger picture of our lives. Period. That's all. So that's so Libra season. So during Libra season, so Libra is ruled by the 7th house, which is the house of, you know, interpersonal relationships, the one-on-one relationships. It rules, you know, partnerships. So even if it's like business partnerships, that type of thing, because there's still some form of intimacy in that. It rules, you know, just the relationship that you have on an interpersonal level. And then it's also ruled by Venus, which is love and appreciation, you know, your love language, pleasure. But now Venus, like with the Libra, it's like how you can experience pleasure by, you know, by somebody else, like how you can, I guess, experience pleasure with intimacy and other people, the other. That's the 7th house, the house of the other. So during Libra season, we're going to be paying attention to, guess what, our relationships. All relationships. It's really during Libra season that we all feel like we need to like cuff, we need to go cuff, you know, get a boo or whatever. It's so stupid. But during Libra season, we need to be paying attention to really relationships and how we relate to other people, and how we like pay attention to if you are a relatable person. Because I know a lot of Aries during Libra seasons, they are like the fucked up ones, you know. Aries season, I mean during Libra seasons, during Libra season, Aries, we look at them like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're not supposed to be doing that right now. Right now you're supposed to be relatable, charming, you know. What's this? Harmonious. You know what I'm saying? Like harmonious. How are you adding harmony into this rather than being selfish and wanting the attention to be on you? So that's, and you know, anyone, yeah, just being selfish and wanting things to happen your way without considering other people. So during Libra season, we're going to be paying attention to that. We're going to be paying attention to how we relate to people. And it's going to be during this season, we need to realize like, oh, what am I not giving in relation? Like, how am I holding my weight? And how is somebody else holding their weight, you know? So it's going to be during Libra season, we realize like if we're taking too much or if we're giving too much. And then during Libra season, you realize this is a season where we have to realize what it is that we want to, aka be married to, you know. It doesn't have to just be a person, like it could be even a routine or like things that you relate to. Like for example, I relate to specific characters on TV. I relate to paintings. I relate to specific outfits. I relate to like homes, like really pretty homes with like cute home decor, you know. So it's just during Libra season, we're paying attention to what it is that you want to relate in your life and what it is that you want to include in your life as a way to relate that to other people, as I explained that, you know. And then also realize how do you allow people to relate themselves to you, you know, and how are you in relationships? During Libra season, we're going to be realized that, well, we need to be paying attention to how we relate ourselves in all our relationships, you know. Do you talk too much? Do you allow people to say what they say, or do you cut people off? You know, are you patient? Do you listen, or do you dissociate when someone is speaking to you? You know, those are the things that we're going to be paying attention to during Libra season, and we need to be paying attention to that. Because we're going to be realizing like, oh my god, like am I like a fair person when it comes to being in relationships, or am I only just there for my own personal needs? Do I only get my personal needs from relation? And even just realizing like during Libra season, we're going to be paying attention to why we get into some of the relationships that we get into. You're going to be paying attention to why it is you're attracted to some of the people that you're attracted to, you know. And you can think about it like, why do I always date these particular type of people? Why am I always attracted to these kinds of people? You know, that's what we're going to be paying attention to during Libra season. But also during Libra seasons, we need to be paying attention to just loving and appreciating the relationships that we do have with our besties, you know, even your mom, your dad, your brother, your cousins, your friends, just the close personal relationships that you have. Like you need to be paying attention to the things that you appreciate about those people, and innately how, you know, obviously asking them what they appreciate about you, because it's all about balance and fairness. But yeah, during Libra season, you would even be paying attention to just that, like loving and appreciating the people that we do relate to and that we have a bond with, you know, and that we have a partnership with, even if it's like just with work, you know, paying attention to what it is that you appreciate about your partner, even if it's not like romantic, like just like, oh my god, I really love how we work as a team, and I appreciate how you're so understanding, and I appreciate how we communicate with each other, and I appreciate how we help each other get money together, you know. And if it's with your boo or you're with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, it's like during Libra season, this is what we need to be paying attention to. You pay attention to, oh my god, I love how we communicate. I love how we resolve our issues. I love how you do this for me. I love how you appreciate me. You know, just things like that. You just have to appreciate the things that you relate to and the things that you relate to. That's the thing. That's the vibe during Libra season. That's what we need to be paying attention to, you know, because Libra falls in the sun, so Libra doesn't have an identity, so it gains its identity from getting validation from other people. So during Libra season, it's pretty much okay for us to, you know, want validation from other people, and that's usually the season where we will get validated. And if you don't, then either those people are out of alignment, or you maybe are out of alignment, depending on how you ask that shit, you know, ask for validation. But generally, like during Libra season, you know, wanting to just show appreciation for the people that you have bonded with and created emotional intimacy with. Oh yeah, that's what we need to be paying attention to, you know. And also paying attention to if we how we rationalize in our relationships, and how we logically rationalize things, and how we come up with solutions, you know, because Libra is all about the mediator and finding fair results and shit like that. So if your relationships are sucky and you want to solve them, then you need to during Libra season, we're going to be paying attention to how we can create solutions, you know, because Libras are great solution makers, super great, super quick to want to forgive things and like create a solution, you know. So during Libra season, that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we need to be paying attention to, how we can solve our issues, but also what we appreciate about each other. You know, that's the vibe. Moving on to Scorpio season. So during Scorpio season, another water season, child, we're going to be paying attention. Oh my god. We're going to be paying attention also to our emotions, but these are going to be like our deep, dark emotions that we really just hide underneath the hadal zone. The hadal zone of our own emotions. Like that's where we, yeah. That's what we're going to be paying attention to, the fucking hadal zone of our emotions. So during Scorpio season, remember when I said Cancer season, we're paying attention to our childhood traumas? Yeah, so during Scorpio season, we're going to be paying attention to how deep those traumas really cut us. We're going to be paying attention to really, like, because you know, like a lot of the times we get defensive, and certain things can trigger us so much that we are willing to fight somebody. Yeah, we need to be going deep into that, like diving deep into why that affected us, you know, and then diving deep, going back into our childhood and be like, okay, that affected me, but now I'm an adult, so why does that still affect me, you know? And then diving deep into how to transform that, because during Scorpio season, we need to be looking for, also just like Libra season, we're looking for solutions, right, in our relationships. But Scorpio season, we're looking for solutions on how to like transmute those triggers and emotions, and how to make them our bitch, and how to make them feel us, you know, and how to transcend those emotions rather than being a slave or a victim to our own triggers, you know. During Scorpio season, Scorpio seasons are obviously very intense seasons, because this is the seasons where we are, it's like we have to, just like Aries season, we have to be there for ourselves, right? But Scorpio season, we really have to be there for our own emotions, you know, and like our own emotional support. You know, we need to figure out, like, during Scorpio season is the season where we have to figure out, like, how to stop being so afraid of things because they, you know, represent a very dark space in our childhood, you know, that we don't want to face. Because during Scorpio season, oh baby, Scorpio season is going to make you deal with that shit, and we need to allow that shit during Scorpio season. We need to allow ourselves to face those fears, you know. Oh, because I forgot to mention, sorry, Scorpio is ruled by the 8th house, which is the house of death and sex and our deep dark desires and transformation, you know, and shared values. And then it's also ruled by Mars, which is our passion, our motivation, our will, our intention, you know, how we protect ourselves. And then it's co-ruled by Pluto. Pluto is also death, you know, transformation, you know, just like radical transformation, dude, you know. So if we during Scorpio season, we need to be paying attention to that, putting death to specific emotions, putting death to fears, and facing our fears, emotional fears. Because you'll find during Scorpio season that you're only afraid of things because when you were a young child, you were somewhat programmed to be afraid of those things. So during Scorpio season, you have to reprogram your own emotions so that you gain power from that, gain power from facing your emotions and facing your fears and just being vulnerable. You know, during Scorpio season is a very hectic season, but that season we gain power if you choose to. You know, you stop being a bitch. Oh, well, not really stop being a bitch. Like, you still hold on to your vulnerability, but you stop letting your fears treat you like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, treat you like a little bitch, you know, shame. So during Scorpio season, all of us, we need to be facing our fears, dealing with those traumas, really sitting with those traumas, walking in to the valley of the shadow of death, right? And even with the fear that we have, we walk in the valley of the shadow of death like we are not scared of it, because, you know, we're guided by the source, by universe, you know. And we know that by walking in those scary places for however long we need to be there, because it's really going to be like, Scorpio season is like what, 28, 29 days, whatever, 30 days, whatever, no, 24 days, whatever, 20 something days, you know. We need to be willingly walking through the valley of through the valley of the shadow of death, you know, and willing to transform ourselves, you know, willing to transform the fears, and the fear of judgment, the fear of inadequacy, the fear of succeeding, the fear of being vulnerable, walking through the fear of even our own imagination, because our imaginations can be fucking wild. Excuse me. You know, walking through what else? Walking through whatever the fears that we have, bro. We need to be willing to fight for our own emotions, bro. Even as scary as they are. Also, during Scorpio season, we're going to be paying attention to all our desires. Everything that we secretly desire. Because, you know, sometimes, like, we have, like, these little secret fetishes, or a fetish, or a secret interest that you have, but you don't really want to expose, because, you know, you may be guilty, or you may be someone that only likes to present one side to them, because you're trying to hide all the other skeletons in your closet. Yeah, during Scorpio season, we're going to be paying attention to those skeletons. Oh yeah, we're going to be paying attention to those skeletons. We're going to be paying attention to fucking we're gonna be paying attention to all the things that we hide away from the world, because we may be too ashamed to show them, because obviously, you know, society has rules and regulations on what you should expose out in the public. But during Scorpio season, you're gonna be paying attention to the things that you don't want to be exposed, you know. You're gonna be paying attention to the things that you want to be private, and you're gonna be paying attention to why you want them to be private, paying attention to why you keep things so secretive sometimes, paying attention to why they have so much, like, why those secretive things have so much value and shit, you know. Those vibes. Also, tons of sex. But let's just say it as it is. Scorpio season, we're just gonna be paying attention to our sexuality and our sex drive, you know. Or even just the times where the sun is transiting through your 8th house, you know. This is the time where you will be paying attention. Sagittarius, or your 9th house, right? So when the sun is transiting through your through Sagittarius, or the 9th house, this is a season where, bro, again, fun, fucking, so much fun. Because during Sagittarius season, we are paying attention to our spirituality, first of all. Spirituality, whether you are Christian, whether you're Muslim, whether you believe in astrology. This is a season where you're going to be taking your practice, your spiritual practices a little, you know, you're going to be putting them on a pedestal a lot more. Sagittarius season, we're going to be paying attention to where can I fly, because Sagittarius season is December vibes, and we all know, especially in South Africa, especially in South Africa, we're here, we party like the whole world is about to die. You know what I'm saying? So during Sagittarius, and I don't know about other countries, I know America, you guys have like little cute Christmases and make, you know, snow angels, and you make like snowmen, you know. But South Africa, it's like super hot during Christmas, so we just party. But it's been raining lately, so we've just been at home, but still we party because we don't give a fuck about the weather, you know. So we party. So Sagittarius season, we're paying attention to travel. Sagittarius season, we realize that we do not want to pay attention to the mundane experiences of the world or of our lives, aka, you know, January throughout November. You know, so during Sagittarius season, during December, during year end, during the Jewish year end, we're paying attention to traveling, you know, seeing other people's cultures, because Sagittarius is ruled by the 9th house. So the 9th house rules other people's cultures, you know, other people's other people's cultures, other people's traditions and morals, spirituality, wisdom, travel overseas. Because Gemini is traveling just from country to country within the, you know, reach of your own continent, whatever. So but Sagittarius is like overseas travel, you know, airplanes, learning different languages, eating different foods, you know, wearing different cultural clothes, you know. Sagittarius rules culture, the fucking culture of shit, you know. And then it's also ruled by Jupiter, which is experiences and expanding experiences, and the wisdom that we gain from the experiences that we have, you know. So during Sagittarius season, this is what we're paying attention to, and this is what we have to pay attention to, you know, other people's cultures, or just, you know, just travel, paying attention to traveling and paying attention to what else that you can learn from the spaces that you traveled. We're paying attention to the things that we've learned throughout the year. Obviously, we're paying attention to the things that the experiences that we've accumulated and the wisdom that we've accumulated out of those experiences. Period. That's all we're experiencing during Sagittarius season, bitch. That's it, that's all. Sagittarius season is a time where we need to be paying attention to the reasons why we're even alive, you know, like making up reasons as to why you are alive, you know, making up, like, for example, you know, throughout the whole year we've been through shit. We got broken up with, our heart got broken, and then, you know, during Sagittarius season we have to sit down and be like, you know what, that happened to teach me this, that happened to make me wise. You know, and it's during Sagittarius season where we realize, like, oh my god, I used to be so stupid, but now I'm not stupid anymore. And that's exactly what we all need to be paying attention to during Sagittarius season. The experiences and the wisdom that we've accumulated throughout those experiences. And then obviously, you know, the next year when we're like, new year, new me, you know, I'm about to be this person, whatever, but that's fine. But no, that's usually during Capricorn season. But it's like still cusping energies a little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, during Sagittarius season, we need to be paying attention to our wisdom and shit, but also having fun. Travel as much as we possibly can. Experience new things, you know, eat new foods, learn about a new culture, but mostly just having fun, honestly. Just have fun and like let loose, because it's December time and we don't have to worry about work. Because during December, it's just a party season, you know. We just let go and we just like tend to all the things that we want to indulge in, you know, things that are fun, things that make us feel good, and things that we want to experience some more, aka having fun and feeling good. That's it. But other than that, you know, also because it's like Sagittarius rules higher education, so it could also be, you know, paying attention to studies and studying and where it is that you want to study and what it is that you want to learn more about and expand your wisdom about that shit. Paying attention to the things that you want to expand on and like the wisdom that you want to gain some more, you know. That's what we need to be paying attention to during Sagittarius. To the next, Capricorn season. So Capricorn is ruled by, or when the sun is transiting through your 10th house, right? So Capricorn is ruled by the 10th house, right? Which is your career, your reputation, the long-term goals that you have for your life, and the stability that you plan on having for the rest of your life, you know, and the reputation that you want for the rest of your life, the reputation that you want to maintain for the rest of your life. Capricorn rules what? 10th house rules what? What's this? Yeah, your long-term goals, really. And then Saturn is ruled by Saturn, right? Saturn rules boundaries and restrictions and holding on to things so that you can learn the hard lessons, just like we did in Sagittarius season, but it's like a lot less fun during Capricorn season. But yeah, Saturn rules boundaries and restrictions and what's this? Disciplining ourselves and how to save our money and how to plan out our shit, you know, how to create like a blueprint for our lives so that we can sustain the things that we have, and also gain some kind of legacy out of the shit that we've built for all those years and shit that we struggled for. Capricorn rules struggling, you know, and appreciating the struggle, because the struggle has a lot to teach too, just like motherfucking Sagittarius has a lot to teach. But as I said, Capricorn lessons are a lot less fun than Sagittarius lessons, you know, because Sagittarius lessons allow us to be childish and goofy, but Capricorn lessons have to make us take more responsibility for our lives and suffer, you know. But during Capricorn, I guess Capricorn season teaches us to appreciate the struggle. But anyway, during Capricorn season, this is usually during January times where we are all struggling because we just spent all our money. We spent all our money during Sagittarius season in December, you know. So Capricorn season, we're paying attention to how we need to stabilize our lives long term, how we need to pay attention to how we need to save our money so that we can sustain ourselves throughout the year, throughout the next year, you know. And this during Capricorn season, that's usually the time where we like feel regretful and we feel, you know, like shit, I shouldn't have spent that much money because now I'm broke as fuck. Now I need to work harder during January, you know, to sustain my life. So that's the thing that we need to be paying attention to during Capricorn season, you know, is how to sustain us, how to be more financially responsible and financially smart and financially wise, you know, how much to spend, because sometimes we really don't need to go to that party, but fuck, you know, you just have the urge to do it. But during Capricorn season, you need to pay attention to your priorities and what it is that you really need and what it is that you really don't need. Because sometimes you really don't need to go there, but you know, just because you feel the pressure to do it, you do it anyway, but you really don't need to. But during Capricorn season, we need to be paying attention to what it is that's actually important, you know, what it is that we want to sustain for long term, what it is that we want to direct our passion to, you know, and dedicate our passions to, what it is that we should give more time to and more effort into, because not everything deserves our time, you know, and time is money, time is energy, and Saturn is daddy time, aka karma, and whatever it is that you put out, you will get back. So during Capricorn season, we learn what it is that we want to get back in our lives, and we need to pay attention to what it is that we want to receive back, and then pay attention to what we need to, the actions we need to do in order to reap the benefits of the work that we put out, you know what I'm saying? So during Capricorn season, we're paying attention to what it is that really fucking matters, like even the people that matters, you know, what it is that you're giving your effort to and your time into and your energy into, and the things that don't contribute to your life in a, I guess, positive way, or in a way that, you know, brings you long-term success and stability, then you need to cancel that shit out. Cancel her, because you don't need her, and you never did. You never did need her. You never needed her, you know, or them, or it. You know, so during Capricorn season, that's the season we realize, like, okay, how, also just like Virgo season, during Capricorn season, we realize, okay, what is it in my life that I'm giving attention to that is preventing me from getting to the money, getting to the stability, right? And then you figure that out, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, now I know what I need to give my time and patience to. So let me give my time and patience to only that, and then everything else that isn't that or isn't related to that, you ignore. You don't even give it energy. You become aloof, detached, and you're like, okay, anyway. And then you just go ahead and give your attention and your time to things that actually do matter. And that's it for Capricorn season. You know, Capricorn season, we need to pay attention. We need to pay attention to just we need to pay attention to the effort we put into things, you know, because for example, like going on your phone all day, that's putting in energy to something, right? And most of the time when we on our phones, especially for just there to scroll, whatever, we're not really reaping anything, and what we are reaping is mostly negative shit, like being lazy and procrastinating, you know, as opposed to, for example, if let's say you are a YouTuber and you make videos of you cooking online, you're putting energy and time into that, right? And eventually that's gonna pay off, and eventually, you know, the shit that you reap from that is gonna be good for you, because then you reap endorsements, and you know, you create your own business, and you're a whole culinary person, and you own your own studios of you know what I'm saying? You become a Gordon Ramsay or something like that, you know? So during Capricorn season, we pay attention to those things. And because it's the beginning of the year, that's when we're like, yeah, new year, new me. We start deciding like who we want to be. We start deciding like, you know, we start like looking at the picture of where we want to see ourselves, and that's really what we need to pay attention to, you know, during Capricorn season, is like setting goals for yourself, because that's really the beginning of the year. So beginning of the year during Capricorn season, that's exactly what we need to be doing, paying attention to the goals that we create for ourselves and that we set for ourselves. You know, work on your goals, and also working on your goals, putting time into your goals, and putting effort into your goals, and giving your goals your all, and not just half-assing everything. It's not a time to be lazy during Capricorn season, even though it is beginning of the year, and wow, we are also fucking tired. But yeah, just putting in like knowing what your goals and your ambitions are during Capricorn season, you know, and yeah, working on your goals, even in small little ways, paying attention to and giving attention to things that you want to grow, because whatever you feed will grow. And if you feed bullshit, you're gonna get bullshit. But if you feed things that you want to experience, then you will get that. So pay attention to that during Capricorn. And yeah, let's move on to Aquarius season. So during Aquarius season, we need to be paying attention to our motherfucking associates and the people that we associate ourselves with, because listen, Aquarius is ruled by the 11th house. 11th house rules our associates, our acquaintances, the groups of friends that we have, or the groups of people that we surround ourselves with, you know, and how we network with other people that we don't know. 11th house rules, you know, unknown situations and things that we, like places that we aren't familiar with at all, like a new place. For example, I'm South African. If I go to China, I'm completely unfamiliar with that area. So that will be my 11th house, you know. So, yeah, and then obviously the people that I associate myself with who help me figure out and navigate that shit, that's 11th house type shit. And then it's also ruled by Saturn, right? Also like Capricorn. Saturn rules how you stabilize your life, you know, your long-term stability, restrictions and boundaries. And then it's co-ruled by Uranus. Uranus is about your own unique expression, you know, your own uniqueness, your individuality, your sudden changes, weird shit, eccentricities, you know. So Aquarius when the sun is transiting through Aquarius, bro, that's what we need to be paying attention. I'm talking so fast, and the thing is, Mercury is in Taurus, and I have a Mercury in Libra, and I'm talking like so fucking fast, and I can feel myself just like stumble as I'm about to say something, but I still go ahead anyway because it's Aries season, and I'm like impulsive, and I'm like, fuck that shit, I'm not slowing down for nothing. And the Mercury in Taurus is like, bitch, you better slow down. Anyway, but anyway, yeah, Mercury, what the fuck am I talking about? When the sun is transiting through Aquarius, right? This is the time that we need to pay attention to our own, to the people that we associate ourselves with, firstly. Because you know, who you're around really affects who you are, and it affects how you see your world. It affects how you treat yourself. It affects so much. Oh, it affects so fucking much. It affects so much, you know. So during Aquarius season, we need to be paying attention to the groups of people that we associate ourselves with, you know. Because we could be guilty by association. That could be for a good thing or a bad thing. But we need to, you know what I'm saying? You need to be careful and be aware of who you associate yourself with during the fucking Aquarius season. You know, we're paying attention, or we need to be paying attention to our own unique expression, our own unique individual expression. Because there's the thing with Aquarius, right, is that they can relate to everybody, but they can still stay in their own stubborn thoughts and in their own uniqueness, even with the ability to relate to everybody in the whole wide world, you know. Obviously, as I said, they're still going to be stubborn, but they and their own uniqueness, but they are able to open themselves up and their own thoughts up to understand where someone is coming from. So during Aquarius season, we need to be paying attention to that too. But here's the thing, right? Because the previous season was Capricorn season, and we were a lot more rigid and a lot more strict with ourselves. So during Aquarius season, we need to be paying attention to realizing like as an individual, I create my own rules for myself. So I don't have to subscribe to the rules that my parents or my teachers created for me in terms of, you know, how to dress or how to speak or how to walk like a lady. You know, during Aquarius season, this is a season where you make your own rules. You're like, fuck everybody else. You rebel against everybody else, and you realize that most people are stupid. And then you realize during Aquarius season, we all need to realize like you should only look up to people that are in a position that you want to see yourself in. Otherwise, they're just gonna lead you into their own damnation, and you don't want to be like anybody that you don't see yourself becoming. So during Aquarius season, you realize that shit. You create your own. That's what you need to be paying attention to during Aquarius season, is how you can create your own wave, how you can march to the fucking beat of your own drum. Okay, during Aquarius season, you realize like how you need to establish like your own unique stability systems, you know, because it's still Saturn there, you know, Saturn still rules Aquarius. But during Aquarius seasons, we need to be realizing like, how can I stabilize my own life in my own unique way and say fuck the system and create my own systems for myself, and they can change as much as I want them to, because at the end of the day, you know, if you're original and you fuck with yourself and you're smart also, you can start from scratch no matter when, and you don't have to rely on anybody or any associate. You know, you can do that yourself. But the associates come, or we pay attention to our associates, because eventually, you know, we can't do everything alone. You need people to help you. But so during Aquarius season, that's the season we pay attention to who we want to associate ourselves with. You know, who's on the same vibration frequency as us? Who should we, you know, put our who should we share energy with and share resources with? You know, during Aquarius season, we realize like, oh, okay, for example, let's say you want to be a film student. You realize, okay, I need to be in spaces where people are doing film shit. So either being in a film school, or I don't know, if there's a movie being shot, you figure out a way on how you can associate yourself with someone, or how you can network with someone that can, you know, hook you up so that you can be on set and then figure out like how people make movies and TV shows and shit like that. You know, during Aquarius season, we need to be paying attention to shit like that. You know, realizing like, okay, who do I need to surround myself with so that I can learn from these people? Because once again, the people that you are with the most essentially influence who you are as a person, right? And because Aquarius also is opposite to the sun, and the sun is your vitality, your ego, and all of that shit. Aquariuses maybe I don't want to say they don't have an ego, but like the way, how do I say this? I say their ego comes from Uranus, you know, their individual, unique, they unique shit, like just being a unique person. That's where their ego comes from. So they're so self-righteous and egotistical, whatever, just because of Uranus, you know. But they don't necessarily have like, how do I say this? I don't want to say a self-ego, but they don't necessarily have like Aquariuses don't have like a self-righteousness. Like, it's not like they, oh damn, see, Aquarius is so complex and so fucking confusing. It's like, you see, Leos have this, Aquariuses aren't self-consumed. Damn, they actually are. I'm trying to think of the word to explain what Aquariuses is not. That's opposite to Leo. Okay, let me say this. Aquariuses don't necessarily care about having attention on them. That's the word. They don't really care about having attention on them as much as, because Leos care about attention. They want attention. Aquariuses don't give a fuck about attention. Right. Damn, I even forgot my point. What was my point? What was my fucking point? Oh god. Oh god. Yo, jeez. What was it? We need to be paying attention. Oh, okay. We're paying attention. We're not paying. Okay, so I think this is what I wanted to say. So during Aquarius season, we're not paying attention to how we can shift the audience's attention to focus on us. Because during Aquarius season, we need to be paying attention to, you know, the collective, our own collective, our group collective, you know, how we can work with the group and how we can help each other get from point A to fucking point B, you know? It doesn't always have to be a selfish thing where, as for example, how Leos do that thing where, you know, they make people work for them while they can just sit and relax. No, we're not doing that. During Aquarius season, we're figuring out how we can use our own brain so we can help the collective group. So we can essentially help ourselves too. You know, during Aquarius season, we're paying attention to also a fun season, super fun, great time to like explore, like just like Sagittarius season, go to a new country, you know. But I think Aquarius season, go to a new country that you've literally never heard of. Maybe not never heard of, but you like, yeah, just go to a country that you've never seen, or yet you don't know that much about, so you can discover all that shit, you know. Or just like, I don't know, watch a documentary about space or something like that. But pay attention during Aquarius season. We need to be paying attention to the shit that we are unfamiliar with, paying attention to shit that we are that we want to associate ourselves with, you know, because essentially we are like trying to associate ourselves with that particular group so that we can learn those particular lessons. AKA, like I said, if you want to be a film director, you surround yourself with people who are film directors. But most of all, we are breaking down those barriers created from Aries to Capricorn season, and we're realizing that we, with our own mighty and our own glory, can create our own reality. We can create our own systems, you know, and at that drop of a dime, we can change our lives. I mean, listen, Aquarius season, we need to be realizing that we can change our lives if we choose to do that, and then we can make the steps to change our lives, and that we don't really need people to help us do anything, but we should surround ourselves and follow pages and subscribe to YouTube channels that, you know, that resonate with the long-term goals and the long-term places that we want to be in. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. That's what we need to be paying attention to during Aquarius season. Period. Did I miss anything? Also, during Aquarius season, we're paying attention to how weird we are. That's it. Aquarius season, we're paying attention to how weird we are as an individual. We're paying attention to our most weird, eccentric selves, like our most, you know, sometimes we keep our weirdness aside because we fear judgment. During Aquarius season, we letting our freak flag fly high as fuck. That's all, bro. That is all. And we get to, you know, conceal our emotions. During Aquarius season, we don't have to be emotional. During a Capricorn season, Aquarius season, we don't have to be emotional at all. Can keep all those emotions hidden, packed away, suppressed, all that shit, because we're not paying attention to that. We don't have to pay attention to our emotions. Paying attention to what? The external world, right? Paying attention to our groups and our associates. Paying attention to how we can change our lives for the better, how we can help humanity. Also, during Aquarius season, we're paying attention to the world, man, and the socio-economic state of the world, bro. If you're into that type of shit, or maybe you're just paying attention, just any sort of information that, you know, is very broad and affects humans. You know, it could also be music, because, you know, everybody listens to rap music, for example, and you could pay attention to how rap affects, you know, the world in that type of way. But during Aquarius season, we're just paying attention to the collective conscious and how the collective moves, you know, and how we play a part in that type of thing, you know, and how we choose to exude our own individuality within those, within that connection that we have in the collective. So, moving on to Pisces, last but not least, Pisces. When the sun is in Pisces, when we're in Pisces season, bitch. Pisces season, Pisces is, I said Pisces like 10 times. Pisces is ruled by the 12th house, which is the house of undoing. It's the house of escapism, our dreams, our imagination, our illusions. You know, when we go to sleep, then we go into our 12th house. When we all go to bed at night, when we go to sleep, we go into our motherfucking 12th house. Even when we daydream, you know, going to our 12th house, because it's a form of just leaving reality and going into, I guess, the it's like going back into the womb. Remember when we like made, like when our mothers were carrying us in their bellies and we were in the embryonic fluid and we were just dreaming every day and like connecting to our mother's thoughts and her subconscious feelings and emotions and shit? Yeah, that's the 12th house, you know, just the unconscious self. The 12th house rules your unconscious self. It rules the self that you are unaware of and the emotions that you are unaware of, and even the triggers and the specific things that you do that you are unaware of, you know. That's the 12th house. And then it's ruled by Jupiter, co-ruled by Neptune. It's ruled by Jupiter, which is the planet of, you know, expansion and expanding your experiences, and then gaining wisdom from the experiences that you have. And then it's co-ruled by Neptune, which is also basically what I just mentioned the 12th house to be, which is your dreams, your imagination, your illusions, you know, how you get confused, because Neptune is so fucking confusing and so draining. Yeah, and just La La Land, and how you decide to paint the world and paint your own inner world in a way that suits you, and in a way that suits the emotional vibrations that you want to follow, you know. So yeah, so Pisces, with this Pisces, when the sun transits through Pisces, right, we need to pay attention to our dreams. Also, similar to the water sign thingies, Scorpio season and Cancer season, we pay attention to our emotions. Only difference is that when it's Pisces season, we pay attention to the emotions that we didn't know we even had. Like, you know, Pisces season, this is the season where we realize, like, holy shit, I had no idea that I was actually very cold when I interact with people. That type of thing, that surfaces, and we need to be paying attention to that shit, because we need to really feel through that shit, you know, because during Pisces season we get affected by other people's emotions, you know, because Pisces, as I said, rules the collective, just like Aquarius, but Aquarius is more so like networking on a social level, and then Pisces is networking on an emotional, you know, level. So during Pisces season we need to be paying attention to the emotional connection that we have with the world, really. You know, and that's the time during Pisces season. This is the time where we cry for no reason at all, but it's really just because we're crying because someone from, you know, another part of the world is going through something, and then we just share that vibration, because, you know, Pisces doesn't really have the ego either, just like Aquarius does, you know. But it's worse because Pisces are like, they rule by the 12th house, so they can't really pinpoint who they are at any moment, because they could be anybody at any moment. Some fucking crazy shit, bro. It's fucking crazy. But anyway, Pisces, yeah, during when the sun is transiting through Pisces, we're paying attention to, you know, our unconscious self, and we're realizing, like, the part of the self that we are just unaware of, like this, you know, that usually comes across when we're in our dreams, you know. Usually, like, who we are in our dreams is most sometimes like the part of you that you suppress, you know. For example, like, I'm an Aquarius rising and my 12th house is Capricorn. I'm unaware of how detached and cold, okay, well, not detached, but I'm unaware of how sometimes how uncaring I am of other people's emotions, you know, and how I'm very business orientated, and how I'm very I only apply myself and my personality in situations where I know I'm going to gain something. So I wasn't aware of that, you know, because it's in my 12th house, and your 12th house is the things that you are unaware of. So the things that you, yeah, let me just say, you're unaware of that shit, you know. But during Pisces season, when the sun is transiting through your 12th house, you realize, you pay attention to the part of you that is secret, and it's just, you know, laying there very dormant and just very quiet in isolation, you know, because that's the 12th house. 12th house rules isolation. So during when it's Pisces season, we're going to be paying attention to, you know, wanting to isolate ourselves, because, you know, connecting with everybody is also very exhausting, you know. So Yeah, so during Pisces season, when the sun is transiting through your 12th house, you'll be paying attention to your unconscious self and to your unconscious emotions, you know, and your I don't want to say the skeletons hiding underneath your closet, because when we talk about the 8th house, that's more so things that we do know that we're hiding because we don't want the world to know. But the 12th house is more so things that we don't know we do, you know, and we don't even know we're hiding them because we don't fucking know, bro. You just don't fucking know. And if you do know, you don't really want to share either because you are afraid of that privacy, you know, being exposed, because it's still a water house, you know, and water needs to be protected and secluded and private. But yeah, when the sun is transiting through the 12th house, I mean through Pisces or your 12th house, we need to pay attention to we need to pay attention to just our underlying emotions, you know, and the emotions that we're too afraid to address because they are very much suppressed deep in our subconscious, in our unconscious mind, you know, because during Pisces season we pay attention to that unconscious self, and this is the season when we need to be paying attention to our dreams a lot more, paying attention, like writing down your dreams and then dream analyzing that shit, you know. Pisces season, we need to be analyzing our dreams or figuring out what the fuck this dream meant, you know, figuring out what our unconscious even triggers are and why we are the way that we are unconsciously. So even going to therapy, super great time to go to therapy during Pisces season. But also Pisces season is a great time for us to indulge in our motherfucking pleasures, because Pisces is exalted in Venus, and you know Venus is all the things that we love and appreciate and the things that we enjoy and things that make us feel good and feel pleasure. So during Pisces season we pay attention to the things that make us feel emotional pleasure, you know. We pay attention to the things that make us feel just emotionally good, and then we indulge in that because Jupiter is going to expand everything that we do because of Pisces, you know. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. So during Pisces season we pay attention to all the things that make us feel emotionally nice and all the things that we want to indulge in, and we pay attention to our escapist tendencies, you know. We have to pay attention to why the fuck we want to escape so much, you know. We realize that we usually just want to escape our own selves because, like, you know, being a human is very complex, and then when you start to realize how godly you are, it's like very scary, you know. So we pay attention to that, and then we pay attention to our escapism and why we want to leave Earth, you know, because essentially during Pisces season we realize like this life is temporary as fuck, and having any, I guess, long-term attachments is also detrimental in a way, you know, in a very drastic way. During Pisces season we realize like what is it, oh no, during Pisces, not what is it, but during Pisces season we realize like the importance of just letting go, or just going with the flow, really letting go and going with the flow, like just surrendering yourself to the flow of the universe, you know. Because during Pisces season we need to realize that essentially, I mean, we're really not in control, because we're really controlled by the transits of the world and the universe and then the stars, and then when this transits into Aries, and then this goes into Taurus, and then this goes into Gemini, that influences us a lot, you know. So during Pisces season we pay attention to just surrendering, just being like, universe, take the fucking wheel, bro, because clearly I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. you know what I'm saying? That's really what it is, you know. So during Pisces season we realize like, oh, okay, I need to just like let the universe do its thing. And we also pay attention to our imagination, you know. Pay attention to the illusions that we create for ourselves in the world as a way to cope and a way to survive too, you know. Because we really sometimes, every day of our lives, we can't live without dreams. I think I heard that from a movie or something. I think it was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka and the Charlie and the Factory, whatever. The first Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie, that one. I think it was that movie, or maybe it was another one, but there was a quote that was like, you can't live without dreams. And we pay attention to that during Pisces season. You know, we pay attention to how much we live in our dreams, you know, and the values of our dreams. But we also this is the time where we sleep a lot, because we pay attention to like, it's like during Pisces season, we don't pay attention to our routines and our schedules. You know, this is the time where we just want to like fucking die. Or just sleep, or just drink like 10 margaritas, what's this, 10 cranberry margaritas, and you know, just like be in our dreams and like imagination and imagine the life that we want to. But that's exactly what we need to be paying attention to during Pisces season. You know, just imagine our imagination. And this is also really, I think Pisces season is a great time for us to like just cleanse. It's like a great time for us to also just like pay attention to our emotional wisdom and the wisdom that we've accumulated throughout Aries to Aquarius season, you know, because Pisces is emotionally wise as fuck. So we pay attention to our emotional wisdom, and you know, and we give thanks and gratitude to those experiences and those ups and downs of emotions that gave us the emotional wisdom to know what to do in situations and what not to do in situations, you know, just like Sagittarius season. But it's Pisces season is more emotional. So Pisces season, we pay attention to our emotional wisdom, as I said. Also art, tons of art, because you know Venus is here. So paying attention to anything that we can escape to, you know, that brings us emotional joy. So that, as I said, you know, artistic pursuits like creating music or watching a show or designing something or painting something or drawing something or going to church or, you know, doing your spiritual practices, healing your emotional body, bro. Pisces season, we need to be paying attention to all that shit. Oh, it's an internal experience. During Pisces season, we all have to dive deep into our emotional body and pay attention to our emotions and really just appreciate our emotions and the shit that we've been through and being like, holy fuck, like I'm still here. Like, whoa, that was crazy. Yo, that was crazy. I almost died. I almost got burned, but here I am. Thank you, universe. You know, that's what we be doing during Pisces season. So yeah, this is the video of things that you should do during each season, period, because each season is different and whatever like that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, if you want a reading from me, I do offer readings, so hit me up on my IG. I have all the information down below. And yeah, let's get it fucking poppin'. Let's do this shit. Anyway, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.